Get ready to rumble!
Hi, and welcome back to another edition of Sports Talk Philadelphia here on LaSalle TV. I'm your host, Andrew Elbert. We have a great show lined up for you today. Let me introduce our panel for today. My esteemed colleague from the Philadelphia Daily News, Mr. Mike Kern. Mike, thanks for coming.
PGA pal.
Oh, yeah. Up in Rochester, New York.
I'm marrying. Yeah, you've been all over this summer.
And next to him, we have Erskine Hines, a repeat Sports Talk Philadelphia guest. But, Mike, let's dive right into it. We're going to do a little bit of Eagles talk first.
Sure.
Probably the biggest story in the city right now. Eagles 5-5 with a win over the Green Bay Packers. Let's take a look at the box score. Eagles 27-13 over the Aaron Rodgers-less Packers. Foles 12 for 18 passing, 228 and 3 TDs, with Riley Cooper catching 2 of those touchdowns, really coming into his own as the number 2 receiver for the Eagles. Mike, what did you see from the Eagles in that game, and how encouraging is it for Philadelphia fans?
Well, they're 5-5 after 10 games tied for the division lead. If you told people that, I don't know, 3 months ago, they would have said, yeah, we'll sign up for that. I just find it amazing. It could probably only happen in Philadelphia that every talk show is dominated by, is Foles the guy? Why can't we just let Foles play 6 more games, see what happens, and then we'll worry about it in January or February? I mean, the draft isn't until May next year. But everybody wants to chime in and say he's the franchise. Who knows if he's do I think he's John Elway or a franchise guy? No, that's my immediate inclination. But does that mean he can't play in the NFL and maybe be the 12th best quarterback in the league? Now, that might not be enough to get you to a Super Bowl. Who knows? But everybody wants to answer the question, I think, before it should be answered.
I think Mike brings up a lot of good points. Nick Foles played fantastic last week, in my opinion. I mean, completing 66% of his passes. Another thing, too, that Nick Foles did was he did a very good job on nickel situations and reading coverages. So I was really impressed with what he did, Andrew. Really was.
I mean, he's 16-0, right? 16 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yep. Right.
So Chip Kelly, but he was drafted in the 3rd round, and he can't run.
Right.
Okay, fine. So who says, there's no guarantee they're going to get Marcus Mariota, and they probably won't get Marcus, and now and that doesn't mean you're going to win anyway.
And he might not even come out.
Right.
But who knows if Marcus Mariota or Johnny Manziel or any of those guys, if you look at, let's say the Eagles pick around 15th, if that's whatever it is. You look at the guys who were drafted 15th in the NFL, quarterbacks, around there or beyond. In the last 10 years, let's say there's 25 of them. You might take 2 of them. Right. So this notion that somehow the Eagles, if you don't think Foles is the guy, which he might not be the guy, that somehow they're going to do it in the draft, that may or may not come or whatever. Now, if Foles turns out not to be the guy, maybe he doesn't play well in the last 6 games. Who knows? Then you proceed from there. In the NFL, it's not like you go out and trade for a quote-unquote franchise quarterback. You can make the argument right now he's the worst quarterback in their division. Is he as good as Romo? Is he as good as Eli? Is he as good as RG3? No, if you're probably to draft tomorrow, I'm sure Foles gets taken 4th. But the bottom line is Kelly said he wanted a quarterback that could make decisions, good decisions, and he wanted a quarterback that didn't make mistakes. Well, Foles is making good decisions. He's not making mistakes. They're protecting him. But it's almost like we can't enjoy it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's just a Philadelphia thing because we're so ingrained in this, we won a Super Bowl. And I agree, that should be the ultimate. That's why Andy Reid and Andy Reid shouldn't have been here after so many years. He should have moved on, and good for him in Kansas City. But, he's in his 2nd year. He started 12 games, and yet we want to make pronouncements about him. And I find it ludicrous that people just can't say, okay, let's just play these last 6 games. Let's see what happens. And that Dallas game sticks in the back of everybody's mind, which is fine. It should be part of it. And mostly the teams they beat haven't been good teams. But, what if they beat Washington this week? Yeah, they're 6-5. What if, I don't know what's going to happen in the last 6 weeks, but let's just let it happen. We never, in this city, we are so starved for 208 seems like it was 1908. And that's just the way it is. That's the good of Philadelphia, and that's the bad of Philadelphia.
I agree with you. And Nick, one of the criticisms of Nick Foles' game has been he has not been able to throw the deep ball. Let's take a look at his stats on passes of 15 yards or more. In his first 5 games, 7 for 20, 10.6 yards and 3 TDs. Last 2 games, 12 for 16, 25.7 and 7 TDs.
Against Oakland and Green Bay.
Exactly. Does this show anything about him, or is it kind of getting lucky? I mean, you saw that pass to Deshaun Jackson that hit off both defenders, and he just walks into the end zone.
But that Oakland game, though, Andrew and Mike, I put a lot of stock in that game because I think that the Oakland Raiders have one of the best secondaries in the AFC, in my personal opinion. I mean, you have Charles Woodson, you have Branch. They do have an up-and-coming cornerback, too, with Hayden, who they selected first overall. I mean, who was selected in the first round this season. They have a solid secondary. And then what he did against the Green Bay Packers, who have Tramon Williams, and then they have Bush, and then they have Sam Shields, too. You have to think that he did a very good job. But on that play that he did have with Deshaun Jackson, and me and you were talking about this a couple days ago, when you are going to be playing a cover 3, and then they looked like they were in a perfect position to get an interception. It just didn't happen. So the Philadelphia Eagles, going forward, I think that Nick Foles just has to keep doing what he's doing and just play mistake-free football. He's thrown 16 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. So let's just keep it going.
You throw 7 touchdowns against Westchester in 3 quarters. I mean, if Nick Foles had been drafted in the first round, if he was like and he threw 16 touchdowns and no interceptions, I would like to see the reaction of people. But it's because he was a 3rd-round pick, and he doesn't look the part, maybe. I don't know what the part is supposed to be. But, I don't know. I'm not smart, and I think a lot of people are making pronouncements that aren't smart enough to know. Now, a lot of analysts, guys that should know, have basically come out and say, we don't think this guy, NFL-type guys, and that's fine. And maybe they're right. I would tend to agree with them that they're right. But it's hard to argue with success. And all I'm caring about right now, because you can't change the quarterback situation unless you're going to put Mike Vick in. So let the season play out. Then you sit down when the season's over and you say, okay, this is where we're at with Nick. What do we want to do? Do we think if we don't think he's the guy, what are we going to do? Where are we drafting? What's going to be available in the draft? Maybe you get Johnny Manziel in the draft, and because he's not going to be a top 5 or top 10 pick, and maybe you get him, and maybe Chip Kelly likes him. The only opinion that matters in all this is Chip Kelly's.
Right.
Nothing else matters. Right. If Chip Kelly thinks he can win with a guy, and maybe the fact that they're 5-5, they haven't beaten a lot of good teams, you play who you play, maybe the fact that they're 5-5 with a guy playing quarterback that wasn't even the starting quarterback at the beginning of the year because he couldn't run the football. It's the coach's first. The coach has coached 10 NFL games. He's learning. And I think any system, the Eagles weren't supposed to be good this year. They were 4-12 last year. They've already won more games. The Eagles probably aren't going to be a factor at the playoffs for at least another 2 years. I mean, that would just be logical. Even if they make some good offseason acquisitions next year, they're probably not going to be one of the favorites, as long as Seattle's still there and San Francisco's still there and the Saints are still there. So, but the people, they don't want that. They want, boom, give me, it's like when Mike Vick came in. Mike Vick's first 6 games, he wasn't even supposed to be the quarterback. Right. And he got to be the quarterback, and for 6 games, he was the best thing in the NFL. And it was like, okay, here we go. And, that was 3 years ago. So.
Right. But Andrew, though, I think the Philadelphia Eagles fans need to relax a little bit. And like you said,
that's a bad word.
I know, but this is the thing, though. I think that one thing Chip Kelly is going to do, he's going to build through the draft. I think that they need to build on their interior, and especially they have to upgrade at the right guard position and get rid of Todd Harriman. That's my personal opinion. And I think once they do that and they solidify that offensive line and then continue to make LaShawn McCoy the focus of this offense, it doesn't matter who you have at the quarterback position because you have one of the most electrifying wide wide receivers in the NFL.
And you
with
get
Deshaun
Macklin
Jackson.
back next year.
And you get Macklin back next season. Now,
I think they get Macklin back next
well,
season.
I mean, but that's the thing, though.
Right.
Now, his contract is up at the end of the season, but I
Right.
think that you can get Macklin to come back by giving him $5 million probably, or giving him veterans.
Unless somebody offers
right.
him 10.
Yeah, but then again, coming off a torn
Right.
ACL, I don't think that a lot of teams are going to want to give
All it
Jeremy
takes is
Macklin.
one.
Yeah, it only takes is one, though. But then again, this man did have injury problems at the collegiate level at Missouri. Yeah. So I think that when they get Macklin back, and then if they get a game manager, or even if they keep Nick Foles, I think that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be in a position where they are going to be able to contend in the NFC East for a long time. If they can build that secondary.
Because the division's not that good.
Right, the division's not that good. And you have to take into consideration what's going on in Dallas. Dallas is going to be over the cap next season of their key players. And then you have to look at the situation with the New York Giants and are they going to be able to re-sign?
Rebuilding.
Exactly. Are they going to be able to sign Jason Pierre-Paul? And then with the Redskins too. The Redskins are in a real bad cap situation.
There was no expectations at all.
None.
Then the Eagles went out and played a first half against the Redskins. Then there was expectations. Then all of a sudden they were 3-5, no expectations. They don't have Macklin. The defense was supposed to stink. Defense has been okay. I still think the defense has to get a lot better, but the defense has been okay. That was supposed to be. So all these things, you're playing with a quarterback who wasn't supposed to be the quarterback, and yet they're 5-5 with a chance maybe to win the division and make the playoffs. Maybe they won't. They're not going to win the Super Bowl this year, but it's just, why don't people enjoy it? It's almost like they can't enjoy it. And if this team had not played like that against the Redskins and they were 2-8 right now, everybody say, well, that's what we were supposed to be, or it's a rebuilding year. And all of a sudden, they're excited again, but they don't know how to handle, because we're so starved for something. We haven't had a playoff game the last 2 years. You know, the Flyers tank, the Sixers are what the Sixers are. The Phillies haven't been good in a couple of years. This town is so just, they need something good. And the patience is, that word is out of here. Well, the Flyers fired their coach after 3 games.
Yeah.
You know? And to me, it's a good thing that this team is, they're not great, but they're not, you know, there's a lot worse teams, and they have a chance maybe. I mean, if they make the playoffs this year, well, you know, that'd be pretty, I would think that'd be a neat thing to have a playoff game. And it's probably going to be a home play. It would be a home playoff game because they'd have to get in by winning the division. You know, so you take what you get.
And another thing too, Andrew, one thing is you have to build a winning culture in Philadelphia. And I think in Chip Kelly's first season, by getting to the playoffs, it would also help him gain a lot more trust with these players. And you have to take into consideration LaShawn McCoy was questioning the acquisition of Chip Kelly this offseason because he was a collegiate coach. I think that if Chip Kelly is able to get this team to the playoffs, is going to build that winning culture, and that is going to help his team in the future.
And one big step to making the playoffs is their game this Sunday against the Washington Redskins. Let's take a look at the preview stats. The Eagles are still an offensive juggernaut, 413 yards a game, but the Redskins are right there too with 410.
Yeah, yards. Everybody anymore gets
exactly.
It's like what do you call it? Computer football anymore.
I mean, the Eagles are giving up 417 yards a game, but they're not giving up as many points as they used to in the first half of the season. Now, Mike, what do you see from the Redskins that could pose an issue for the Eagles?
Well, I mean, it's a different team. First of all, they were embarrassed in week 1. You're on national TV. You won the division last year. You're supposed to be good. Your quarterback comes out and looks like a guy who hadn't played because of a knee injury. He's playing a little bit better, and they're still in it. I mean, well, I said they're 3-6. Bad loss last week at Minnesota. I mean, if they'd won that game, they'd kind of be right in it. Everybody's right in it in the NFC, I guess. But they probably think they're still in it if they win this week. And, you know, I mean, I don't know how much that revenge thing plays into things. I think it's tough to beat a division opponent twice in a year. That's just me. Because, you know, the rivalries are usually so. We saw it when the Giants came in here for the second time, even though the Eagles were playing their third quarterback. So I think it's going to be a really tough game. And the odds makers obviously think so because I think the Eagles are favored by a field goal, which basically, if you're at home, means it's an even game. I think this is a really, they haven't won at home in over a year. They got 3 home games coming up and winnable home games. I mean, the Cardinals are good. The Cardinals are about what the Eagles are. But you'd like to have an advantage at home. You know, I mean, they have a lot of home games left coming down the stretch. So if they can take care of business at home, because it looks like 9 wins looks like it'll win you the division. All I want right now as a fan is to have that game at Dallas, the last game, be for the division title.
Want it to mean something.
If you go there and it's a winner take all, even though it's at Dallas, I'm okay with that. Because if you told me before the season we're going to be playing our last game at Dallas, and if we win that game, we're in the playoffs, hey, Chip Kelly's coach of the year.
Well, we will see if the Eagles can take that next step forward and finally win at Lincoln Financial Field for the first time since.
I mean, Temple's won at Lincoln Financial
and
Field.
And that's sad, Mike.
Well, let's not go down. I mean, come on, I'm an owl.
I know. We'll move on to another Philadelphia sports team, the Philadelphia Flyers, playing better of late. Let's take a look. Since the 7-0 loss against Washington.
Since the fight.
Since the big goalie fight where Ray Emery came out of the goal and kind of just pummeled the.
Old-time hockey. Are you sure, right?
It was. The Flyers are 4-2 sits. They're 2.1 goals per game, better than the 1.3 they're giving up. Their goalies are playing better. Their defense looks better. Mike, what happened?
Well, yeah, I mean, Mr. Snyder would tell you, we went out and we kicked some butt. And look, they're probably playing more like the team that they should have been playing like. Hockey's a long season. I mean, that's why, after like 8 games, everybody's like, this team stinks. They're not going to make the playoffs. So it's a long season. But the amazing thing to me is that goaltending, which has been a problem for so long. And now you get a guy, Mason, who, was the scrap heap and, and had one good year like 4 years ago. And you get, Emery comes back and the goaltending has been really good. Mm-hmm. It's been the scoring that's been the problem. Right. I mean, how can Claude Giroux go 20 games without a goal? Yeah. That's impossible. If you put me out on the ice, I'm probably going to tip one in. Maybe.
Can we try that?
I don't know. That would be embarrassing. But, I mean, maybe, look, I'm not down there every day. Maybe Craig Berube, maybe whatever he's selling isn't what Laviolette was selling. Maybe they needed a change. Maybe it took a while to come together. I know there's a lot of people around the NHL who think the Flyers are better than they were playing. So we'll see. The division, the way it's going to be a little harder to make the playoffs, I think, than it was in the past, because the way the divisions are now, it's the top 3 teams, and then the Flyers are probably going to have to make it as a wild card because that top 3 thing is going to be tough in their division to crack that. But it's in 80 games. They're like, what are they, 15 games in, 18 games in, something like that. So there's a long way to go. If you play 4-2 hockey the rest of the year, probably going to be in the playoffs.
Right. And I mean, the Philadelphia Flyers, they're 29th in goals per game this season, and they're only giving.
And they probably moved up the last.
Right, exactly, and
they worked at last.
Yeah, they really did. They're just averaging about 2 goals a game, but on this 3-game winning streak, they're averaging about 3 to 4 goals a game. So I've been really impressed with what they've been doing on this win streak, and I hope that they can continue it. But you have to admit, the play of Emery and Mason has been fantastic, and I hope that they continue to do that. And if they keep doing what they're doing, I think this team can make the playoffs.
And if you get to the playoffs, and you have goaltending like that, I mean, you still have to score goals. I mean, if your goalies could be giving up 2 goals a game. If you're only scoring 1, it doesn't make a difference. But if you're going to get that kind of, and we have to see, but if you're going to get that kind of goaltending for the whole thing, you got shots. Because usually in the postseason, it's 3-2, 2-1 games. That's the way it is. You don't necessarily have to score 3 or 4 goals. It helps, but it's once again, check back like in mid-February, early March. Let's see where they're at that point. Now, I mean, the Flyers, which is the real Flyers? Usually the truth lies somewhere in between. So I don't think the first 3-4 weeks, they're probably more of like what they've been playing. When you got guys that seemingly are underachieving at the offensive end, then you got your captain coming out and questioning the team's belief in itself. That's a scary proposition. But, losing is frustrating. Losing makes people do goofy things. Winning cures everything. When you're winning, life is good. The locker room's happy. Nobody's running down the ice to pound the other goaltenders. It's a good world.
Yeah, maybe it was the spark they needed, but the Flyers.
It worked 40 years ago.
It did. Old-time hockey.
That's right.
But moving forward, Philadelphia 76ers, another team that is probably overachieving right now.
We can't even figure out how to tank. It's amazing.
Right. We could take a look at their last game against the Rockets. 123-117, win in overtime. Big come from behind victory. James Anderson played out of his mind.
Who's James Anderson?
Exactly.
That's what I want to know.
36 points, 5 rebounds. Evan Turner having another solid game, 23 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Why can't they lose, Mike?
Well, I mean, some of the other teams are resting guys, but, look, maybe the new coach is good. I mean, that might have something to do with it. Maybe Doug Collins wasn't as good as we thought. There's a lot of people who question some of the things that he did. Evan Turner's playing for a contract. They've got guys on this team, I couldn't tell you who they are. Before the season, when I saw the roster, I literally said, and the guy last night has a triple-double. I mean, I don't know. But if you go out, there's a lot to be said for going out and trying every night. Their center, who's leading their team in three-point shooting, who's not really a center, he's playing for a contract.
He was out singing karaoke last night, too.
But when you have guys who, and it seems like they play a lot better when it's that up-tempo, fast-paced style. Well, teams aren't always going to let you do that. Maybe teams are underestimating him, too. I mean, maybe some teams are coming in and just thinking, and that'll change gradually. But, I really thought they were going to have trouble winning 20 games this year. I really did. I remember Marcus Hayes in the paper, I think, picked him for 30, and I was laughing. Marcus may be a lot closer to the truth. And I mean, look, it's a long way to go. Once again, lots of things happen, and they're far from a perfect whatever. But I think it's nice because you can finish with the worst record. Doesn't mean you're going to get the first pick. Right. And even if you get the first pick, it doesn't mean that Wiggins, if that's who you take, is going to be the answer. It doesn't mean Jabari Parker looked great the other night too. There's a few guys out there. So, but these guys, they're getting paid. They go out there every night. They're trying to win. They're not going out on the court trying to lose, even though that's what we think the mindset is. And, so they're showing people something. And good for them. I mean, I don't want to watch a 15-65 team just because I think that means they might get. I mean, they could win 25 games and still wind up getting Wiggins or Parker or the guy from Kentucky. So
look at the Cavs last year. We could take a look at the Atlantic standings. Sixers right on top at 5-4. I know, it's unexpected. And then
the Nets aren't playing real well, and the Knicks are turning into kind of like a disaster. So
exactly. Erskine, did you expect them to even have a lead this early in the Atlantic Division, even this early in the season?
It's a little hard. Well, no. I'll be honest, no. But I mean, but really though, Andrew, I'm really impressed with them. They're 6th in points per game. They're 6th in rebounds per game. They're 7th in assists per game. The only problem I have with this team is that they're 29th in their points they're giving up. So they really have to improve that. But the Philadelphia,
and that's usually the last thing that comes around.
Exactly, yeah. But when you're playing with an up-tempo offense like this, that's going to happen. But you really have to be impressed what these guys are doing out on the court. And if they keep it up, I really think that this team could contend in the Eastern Conference. And another thing, too, I think that a lot of analysts and a lot of writers were prematurely picking the Brooklyn Nets and the Knicks to finish at the top of this division. Let's be honest. The Brooklyn Nets, they're not playing that well. And the New York Knicks, they're not even really that good of a team. They're not playing as a team. The Philadelphia 76ers, they're sharing the basketball. It's fantastic to see, and I hope that they keep doing it.
I think the Nets were constructed more as a playoff team.
Yes. Right.
Get us to the playoffs, and then we'll try to ride the veterans for as far as we can. Okay. The Knicks, I think there's so many issues up there because when your best player basically comes out before the season and says, "I can't wait to test the free agent waters." Well, what does that mean?
You don't say that.
What is
so
that?
Okay.
And I love Carmelo.
We all love Carmelo.
But is Carmelo the guy you can ride to a title? Probably not. Is Carmelo the guy that could go somewhere and be the second guy and ride to a title? Maybe. But I just think but in the East, look, it's going to come down to Miami. Can Indiana beat them, or maybe can Chicago beat them? That's basically, maybe the Nets can find a way late to turn into that, find that magic and get those 35-year-old legs or whatever. But I give a lot of credit to the Sixers coach. I mean, I didn't know. All I know is the guy was with San Antonio for 14 years or whatever it was. So he's won championships. He's been there with Popovich. Popovich is going to the Hall of Fame. Okay, he comes here. Nothing much is expected. For whatever reason, and they're playing a style that probably can't win you championships. Who cares? They're not winning a championship this year. They're not winning a championship. But probably entertaining to watch. I mean, people will tune in, which maybe put some people in the seats. They seem like they're a fun team to kind of, once again, enjoy it. It might not last. It doesn't mean they're going to win 40 games or 45 games, but they might not stink and be the worst thing that, the 72-73 Sixers or whatever year that was. And I think it's a pleasant surprise. Now, Evan Turner might not be back because he might play so well that some team might decide to give him a contract. Who knows? But the person I care most about is the point guard. Right. Let's see, because I wasn't real high on him. I just, I'm just not that convinced he's going to be that guy, but okay, he's looked good so far. He fills up his stat sheet, a little bit like kind of Jason Kidd used to do, a little this, little that. Maybe he doesn't shoot. Let's see what he can do because he's the future. That's the guy that's going to be there. Then you get Noel in here. You see who you get in the draft next year. That's going to be kind of the nucleus of your team. Maybe Thad Young's part of that, but I can kind of see him at some point maybe moving on. But, I enjoy it. I enjoy the fact that they don't. If they were like 1-8 or 1-9 right now, we'd be sitting there going, "Oh my God, we got to go through 5 months." Instead, it's like, "Hey, they're winning games. Or let's see what they can do." And I think it's a great little story that not many people are really paying attention to because I don't think they think they're going to keep it up, which probably they won't. But right. I laughed at Marcus.
We all
Marcus.
He was on the show and he said it.
30 games, and I thought there was. If I was betting in Vegas, I don't know what the line was in Vegas.
17 and
17 and a half. That's a good line, and that's why those people put casinos up. I would have thought seriously about taking the under because I really thought they were going to be that bad. So,
all right,
good for them.
Yeah, we'll see if they can keep it up. But we'll move on to our very Fast Five segment here on LaSalle TV. Mike, will Nick Foles be the starter the rest of the season?
He better be. Unless he gets hurt, I don't see a reason to put Mike Vick back in. And that's no knock on Mike. That's just the reality of it.
Erskine, will the Sixers make the playoffs?
Yes.
Wow.
The Sixers will make the playoffs.
What seed?
8th.
Sneak in.
They'll sneak in.
All right.
Wow.
Mike.
Coach of the year.
Yeah.
We got all kind of coaches of the year in Philadelphia.
Favorite moment covering sports? Other than our week at the PGA.
92 East Regional Final in Philly. John Chaney's 4 Final 8s I covered. Villanova Final 4, and anything with Tiger.
Anything with Tiger.
Anything with Tiger. Most things with Tiger, not everything with Tiger.
Yeah. All right, Erskine. Who wins the NFC East?
Washington Redskins are going to win the NFC East, and you're going to see why this weekend.
Wow. That's going down on a limb.
That's bold. And Mike, final question of the day. When are you going to get a Twitter?
When the idiots stop using it. It seems like every day I wake up and somebody's talking about something stupid that happened on Twitter. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Okay, so, and I realize there's a lot of good to it, but every day it's like people say, look at this guy, look at this guy, look at that. NBA players yelling at each other on Twitter, threatening to kill. So what am I missing? That's what it's there for?
Yeah, you'd be great on Twitter, though.
And I will be.
All right. We have a promise. That'll do it for Sports Talk Philadelphia here on LaSalle TV.
I hate promises.
Oh, what you just did. It's all right.
I know.
If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach us lasalle.edu/LaSalle TV. You can also email us, lasalletv@lasalle.edu. We're also on the web, social media. My Twitter is Andrew@Yelbert01. We'll figure out Mike's in a bit. Erskine the Great. As well as we're on Facebook, Sports Talk Philadelphia, and YouTube, keyword search Sports Talk Philadelphia. For this week's episode, thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
We didn't even talk basketball. What's up with that?